Hey everyone, happy new year. Thank you so much for tuning into my video today. And with the new year here, I thought it'd be a cute idea to talk about 23 things that I learned in 2023. I just want to start by talking about how crazy is it that 2024 is already here. I remember being a freshman in high school, and I'm a senior in high school now. So I remember being a freshman in high school and thinking 2024 was just so far away. It was just so out of reach. Like, this is a year that I graduate. This is a year that I'm potentially going to move out. Like, this year that I go to college. Like, this is the year that it seems that it all happens, right? Those big monumental moments that we look forward to. This is the year, and it's just so crazy to me that this year came so quick. But happy 2024, guys, and I'm so excited to share with you guys what I learned in 2023. I will say that I stepped into my faith with Jesus this year, and I met him this year, and I came to love him this year. So a lot of these are faith-based, but a lot of them are also just good lessons that helps me, get through the day-to-day. So let's get started. With them being faith-based, the first one is that God is real, Jesus who he says he was, and that they both love me and they love you so much. I could talk about this for hours, so I'm not going to go much into this, but that was one of the biggest things I learned this year, and it wouldn't be a 2023 without me reflection without me including that. The second one is who and what you surround yourself with matters so much. I feel I learned this year with the amount of change that happened in my life when I met Jesus and when I started living for him. So much change happened, and I was able to realize that who and what I was surrounding myself with, not that they caused some of the things, but the environments that I was in and just the change in them. Who you surround yourself with and what you surround yourself with, meaning what you watch, what you listen to, just environments that you're in. And I feel like this is something I've been learning over the years, but I really saw it this year. It just matters so much and a lot more than you would think. The next one is that you're not going to be friends with everyone. Along with the environment, I feel like I spent a lot of this year trying to be besties with everyone, trying to be accepted by everyone, trying to be in everyone's friend group, trying to get into the cliques, right? But I just learned that while it's good to be friendly with everyone, you're not going to be friends with everyone. You're not going to be besties with everyone. And with that being said, I'm so blessed that God gave me my good friend group this year, and I'm so happy with the people that I am entering 2024 with. But I really just learned this year that it's okay, and it's okay not to be friends with everyone, and it's not going to happen. It's impossible to be friends with everyone, right? But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be friendly with everyone. The next one is that you don't have to follow everyone's advice. I think that advice from other people is such a big thing, and it's such a good thing to get from other people, but following everyone's advice is going to be impossible, and it's just unrealistic. It's not necessary. 5 is the importance of practicing gratitude. This actually reminds me of something that was said in a message in my church this year, and it said that he said that you can't praise God and complain about something at the same time. And I just really learned this year that there is something good in everything. No matter how bad the situation may seem, there is something good in everything. Even if it's just that you have breath in your lungs and a roof over your head. I just learned the importance of practicing gratitude to kind of pull myself out of those situations that seem really just dark and sad and bad. So yeah, just the importance of gratitude. Okay, the next one is that it's okay to put things on the back burner sometimes. I'm definitely not like an overachiever, but I want to achieve everything at once. I want to get it done, and I want to get it done now, and I'm trying to do everything at once, and I go to school, and I work, and I'm involved in my church a little, and I think that this year, I just really learned that it's okay to put things on the back burner sometimes, and that you can't do everything at once, and that there are big things and that there are little things, and those little things that sometimes you just need to put them away for a little bit. If it's Friday night and you have homework due Sunday, you can take that Friday night off. You don't have to be doing everything all at once, and you don't have to be doing something all the time. Number 7 is that comparison is a thief of joy, right? I just really learned this year that our God is such a creative God. He's a creator, and he's creative, and that comparing ourselves to others is it's discrediting God, because we're saying that he what he did isn't good enough in us. That isn't true, because he is perfect and that everything he's created is perfect and we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I think also just by comparing yourself to others, you're discrediting yourself and where you're at in life. And I think that comparison is just a huge thief of joy. And I've seen this so many different places this year, and it's just definitely one of the big things that I learned. Number 8 is that you don't have to be in control all the time. I will definitely say that I'm a big control person, and that's something that, especially like stepping into my faith this year, has been something that I've struggled with greatly. But I've learned this year that I don't have to be in control all the time, because when I'm in control, that's when things go wrong, because I don't know everything and I'm never gonna know everything. So it's good to say, okay, I'm not in control of this, God's got it, and you don't have to be in control all the time. Number 9 is that family is who you make it. And while I'm so blessed to have a good relationship with my family and so grateful to have a great family around me, I feel like God has just really shown me this year that there's family and so many other things than just, your bloodline. And when I think of my family, of course, I think of those who I live with and who I'm related to, but I also think of so much more things. I think of my church and my community and my amazing friends. And okay, so number 10 is that disagreement doesn't mean that you can't be friends. This is such a big thing for me, because I feel like I'm not proud of this, but I feel like sometimes I can be a very argumentative person, and the minute that before like stepping into my faith, the minute that someone disagreed with something I said, it was, oh, you're wrong and I'm not going to listen to you. But I think that just this year I really learned that disagreement doesn't mean you can't be friends, and if I wouldn't have been friends with someone who I disagreed with, I never would have even met Jesus. So I just think that it's so important to have an open mind and an open heart when you're going into something. So the next one is that your walk with Christ is going to look different than others at some times, and that's okay. I feel like with being a new Christian this year, I looked at the beginning, unfortunately, instead of looking to Christ to see how to walk, I looked to other Christians, and I saw the great things they were doing, and I saw, oh my goodness, they're doing great things, they're doing this and they're doing this and they have this, and I'm like, God, like, am I doing anything wrong? Is it me? And then I just realized that it's not, and that they're just at different points in their walk, and I'm in a different point, and that's okay, because I'm exactly where God wants me to be and exactly where God has me, so it's okay. And that is going to look different sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you're a bad Christian or you're not right with God. It just means that you're human, and it's okay. Number 12 is love God, love people. That Christ and the beauty of Christ is one of the biggest things that I've learned this year, and one of the most important things that I've learned this year. So, but it's love God, love people, and I feel like by embracing the love of God this year and truly understanding the love He has for me and expressing the love that I am growing for Him, I feel like I've really just saw the people, been able to begin to see people in a different light and to love them differently as well, and to just love them more. And once you just understand the love that God has for you, you understand that He has that for everyone, and you just start to see people and you start to have this love for people that goes so great. And I just truly have found this year that I love God, and that in turn I love people, because I love God and God loves everyone, so I'm doing my best to love everyone. For number 13, I have not to judge others and not to care when they judge you. This has been a big thing for me, both of them. I'm not obviously proud that I have, I think that we all as humans, we tend to judge other people and what they're doing, and I feel like just from a place of jealousy before, I did this a lot. I judged a lot. And I was like, why are they doing that? Why do they look like that? Why are they wearing that way? And in turn, I also cared a lot about what people thought of me, because I thought, okay, if I'm thinking this about other people, then they're thinking that about me. But that's not true at all. And also, by judging others, we're just putting ourselves in a place that's higher than God. God is the righteous judger, and we're not. And who are we to judge someone else when we're flawed humans as well? And in the same way, and then not to care when others judge you. I know what God says about me, and I know the words He's spoken over me, and I know that those are true and not what other people say about me, and I also know that those are true for everyone else, so it helps me see them in a different light as well. And I feel like this one, not to judge others and to love God, love people, go together, because me starting to have a different love for people because of my love for God has also allowed me to to stop struggling with judging other people and to be loving and caring and compassionate to all. Number 14 is that emotions are not your enemy. I feel like I struggled with this a lot, and this is actually something that we talked about in my youth group one time this year, and I just learned that your emotions are not something that it's just not supposed to be shown, and you're just supposed to bottle them up and be happy and great and good all the time, and that's not true. You're not going to be happy and great and good all the time. When you're struggling with your emotions and you're struggling with just how to deal with them, that doesn't make you any less than the next person. It makes you human and it makes you vulnerable. And I found that in those moments where I'm vulnerable is the moments that I'm the closest to God, right? It says that God is near to the brokenhearted, and I've just really learned that this year with my emotions. For God to use you, you're not going to be perfect. You're not ever going to be perfect. The only perfect one was Jesus. That's the whole point. You just have to be available, and you just have to say, okay, God, how can I help you today? What can I do for you today? And I've just learned that it's really not about me. It's about Him, and it's about His kingdom, and it's about His advancement and His legacy, and not mine. Number 16 is that prayer is so powerful, right? I got saved this year. I became a new Christian this year, and with my prayer journey, I have just seen things that I never imagined, never thought were possible happen right before my eyes. Things that silent prayers that I said underneath my breath, and things that I declared, and that I just said, God, please, please. Prayer is so powerful, but with that being said, prayer is not us getting everything that we want, it's God getting what He wants, right? It's us opening the door to God and saying, okay, God, I give it to you. Okay, God, I invite you in. Okay, God, please help me because I can't do it on my own. And He will. In the moment that you call on the name of the Lord, He will be there. He's always there, but He's waiting for you to open the door because it's a choice. And prayer and the power in prayer is opening the door and letting God have His way. Number 17 is that I just feel like I learned this year the true meaning of rest, and how what rest in Jesus means, and how to obtain that rest. Even at the beginning of this year, or throughout times in this year, I'd be like, okay, like I'm gonna rest today, and then I would spend 2 hours on the couch on my phone and wonder, why do I still feel like garbage, right? Why do I still feel tired? And I just learned this year about how to rest in Jesus, and how to find rest in Jesus, and what that rest truly means, and how about when you have that rest and when you have Jesus, that's when you feel truly rested, and that's when you feel truly at peace. That's what will sustain you. That's what will bring your soul and your heart to stillness and your heart to rest. For number 18, it's that when God made the plan for your life, He factored in your stupidity. But it was so comforting, especially stepping into my faith this year. I feel like I was just messing up so many times, and I was like, God, why do I keep messing up? Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing this? That's also just to go into, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be available. But I feel like I was just making mistake after mistake, and I was like, okay, like, why am I doing these stupid things? And it's just, when God made a plan for your life, He understood that we're not perfect and we're going to make mistakes, and He factored in your stupidity. And I swear there has been so many times God has gotten me out of situations and messes that I've caused myself, that He didn't have to get me out of, but He did anyways, because He's a merciful God, and He wants to help us, right? He wants to provide for us, and He wants to help us, and that's what His plans are for us to prosper in Him, and for us to abide in Him, and for Him to help us. Number 19 is that it's not always easy, but it will be worth it. This is another one of those things that I feel like I could talk about for hours, but I just think in so many different ways, in so many different areas, it can be hard sometimes, it can be hard to keep going, it can be hard to keep fighting, it can be hard to keep putting in the effort, it can be hard to just keep pushing forward, and it might not always be easy, but it will always be worth it, and the reward will always be there, big or small. Like your hard work will pay off. Just keep going, just keep pushing, just keep moving forward. Number 20 is that slowing down is okay. You go from one checkpoint to the next, like you get to this checkpoint and it's immediately like, okay, what do I do now? And I think I just learned the importance in slowing down, and the importance of the in-between those checkpoints, kind of the importance of the journey to get to where you're going, and that's okay to slow down and to take a break, and that the rest that you have when you slow down and take a break is just so important. So yeah. Number 21 is that you don't have to be available 100% of the time. I think this is kind of self-explanatory, but it's almost like you have to fill your cup before you can pour it type of thing. Like if you always have, if you're always pouring your cup out and pouring your energy out and trying to help other people and trying to be there for other people, then you're never going to have that time to be there for yourself, and to spend time with Jesus. For me personally, I just really felt like God was telling me this year, if you're always with them, when are you going to be able to hear me? If you're always talking to them, if you're always being there for them, if you're always, just worrying about everyone else, when are you going to have time for me? And I feel like that's just something that I really learned this year. And number 21, you don't have to be available. I feel like that's just something that I've learned through this. Number 22 is to be slow to anger, and I feel like this one's also kind of self-explanatory, but it's just, I feel like a lot of times when something happens, my first response is to get angry about it, and I feel like just taking a deep breath and practicing gratitude and saying, okay, God, like I may not understand why this is happening, but I know that you can use it for my good, and I know that it's going to be okay. It's hard to do that, and it's hard to be slow to anger, and it's hard not to get angry and not to want to get back at people around you, or not to want to be angry at yourself for making mistakes, but you just have to be slow to anger, and you just have to take that deep breath, and you have to take that step in understanding that it's okay, and it's going to be okay, and that it's not the end of the world. Number 23, the last one, the 23rd thing I learned in 2023, and probably one of the most important ones, is that things do get better. And I feel like this one is so big but so self-explanatory, and it's just that things do get better and that everything is going to be okay, and what seems like the end of the world is going to be it's just gonna be so meaningful to you. And I feel like this is another thing that I could just talk about for hours, but I'm just gonna leave it at things do get better, and it's gonna be okay. And if you're going through something right now, I just encourage you to turn to God and to ask Him for help and to ask Him for encouragement, because it's in Him that I've been able to see the good in so many things, and just the beneficial factors in so many things that have happened to me that I thought were the end of the world and that I thought would never get better, but they did. And one of the biggest things that I learned this year is that they will. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just wanted to say that it was so fun for me to be able to reflect on the 23 things, along with so many more that I learned this year. It was really just cute and joyful for me to be able to talk about this and reflect on it, and I hope that it brought some joy to your day as well. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I hope that you have an amazing 2024.